Remote work in 2026 isn't what it was in 2020.
It's not about escaping to the cheapest city or chasing the loudest tech scene anymore.
The honeymoon phase is over.
Now it's about stability, infrastructure, actual cost of living, lifestyle fit, and long-term risk.
Whether you're 25 and solo, 35 with a partner, or 45 with kids, this framework adapts to your life stage.
We evaluated each city across 7 critical dimensions: performance, work feasibility, cost reality, lifestyle, and long-term outlook.
Not rankings, not hype, just what actually matters when you're betting your career and life on a city.
And I'm going to tell you why one of these cities, despite all the hype, might be the worst choice for most people.
Stick around, let's break it down.
Before we dive into cities, here's how we evaluated them.
1. Economic and remote work strength. How strong is the local economy? What's the remote worker population doing, growing or stalling? Are people moving in or leaving? Is there tech spillover, meaning, can you network and pivot careers if needed?
2. Cost reality and affordability pressure.
We're not talking about today's rent, we're talking about trajectory. Where are rents heading? What about hidden costs like utilities, transport, groceries?
Critical rule: we focus on trend direction, not exact numbers, because affordability isn't static.
3. Digital work infrastructure. Fiber availability and internet reliability. Power stability, because one blackout during a client call can cost you a contract. Co-working space density. Public Wi-Fi infrastructure.
4. Physical infrastructure and urban functions.
Can you move around the city efficiently? Infrastructure quality score.
Connectivity to other cities, airport access matters.
Daily mobility without burning hours in traffic. 5. Lifestyle, safety and quality of life. Crime perception versus reality. Walkability and family friendliness. Healthcare access. Stress levels and environment. And yes, dating scene and diversity. Because if you're moving solo, you're not just building a career, you're building a life. 6. Mobility, airports and financial efficiency. Connectivity and airport access. Distance to major domestic and international hubs. Travel time for work and family visits. 7. Tax and financial angle. State income tax, sales and property tax, remote income optimization opportunities. Now, let's talk cities. City 1, Austin, Texas. The tech spillover king with a cost problem. Austin is still the poster child for remote work migration. And for good reason. Economic and remote work strength.
According to recent census data, over 42% of Austin's workforce now works remotely at least part-time, one of the highest concentrations in the country.
The tech spillover is real.
You've got Tesla, Oracle HQ, Apple's massive campus, and hundreds of startups.
Even if you're fully remote, the networking optionality here is unmatched outside of SF and NYC. You can pivot. You can freelance. You can build.
The hidden truth.
Migration tracking shows Austin's remote worker growth has slowed by 60% since 2023. Why? Cost saturation.
The people who could afford to move here already did.
Cost reality. Median rent for a one-bedroom hit $1,780 in late 2025. That's up 22% from 2022.
If you're making under $80,000 remotely, Austin is borderline unaffordable unless you're willing to live 30-plus minutes outside downtown.
But here's the financial angle. No state income tax.
If you're making $120,000 plus remotely, you're saving $6,000 to $9,000 annually compared to California or New York.
However, property taxes run 1.8-2.2%, among the highest in the US. So if you're renting, you win. If you're buying, that tax bill stings. Digital infrastructure. Excellent. Google Fiber, AT&T Fiber, and Spectrum compete aggressively here. Gigabit internet runs $70 to $90 per month. Co-working density is 12 spaces per 100K residents, second only to Denver among mid-sized cities. Lifestyle and hidden downside.
Austin's dating scene is one of the most active in the U.S. High diversity, 1.05 male-to-female ratio in the 25 to 40 bracket. Crime rate is 12% below the national average, though property crime has ticked up in East Austin and some downtown areas.
But infrastructure stress is real. Traffic has worsened significantly. I-35 is a daily nightmare. Public transit is weak compared to peer cities.
And yes, if you've ever sat in Austin traffic at 5 p.m. on a Friday, you know that keep Austin weird sometimes means keep Austin stuck in your car for an hour.
Airport access. AUS is 20 minutes from downtown with direct flights to 80-plus cities, but it's not a major hub. You'll connect through Dallas or Houston for most international travel. Who Austin is for?
High-income remote workers, $100,000 plus, solo movers who value career optionality, People who want the option to go hybrid if needed. Who should skip it? Families on a budget, anyone making under $70,000, people who hate traffic and sprawl.
Unique angle. Austin isn't a remote work city anymore, it's a tech city that happens to have remote workers. If you're not plugged into that ecosystem, you're just paying premium rent for tacos and live music. City 2, Denver, Colorado. The lifestyle income balance champion. Denver might be the most balanced remote work city in America. It's not the cheapest. It's not the most connected, but it works. Economic and remote work strength. Remote workers make up about 38% of Denver's workforce.
Migration tracking shows the city has steady inbound migration. Around 45,000 people moved to the Denver metro in 2025, and roughly 40% were remote workers or hybrid professionals.
Tech spillover exists but isn't overwhelming. You've got aerospace, biotech, and a growing startup scene, but it's not Austin-level saturation. Cost reality. Median rent for a one-bedroom crossed $2,050 in 2025. That's up 18% from 2023.
But here's the thing, utilities remain stable due to renewable energy investments, and grocery costs are near the national average.
Hidden cost? Car dependency. Unless you live in specific neighborhoods, Lodi, Reno, Capitol Hill, you'll need a car. Tax angle. Colorado has a flat 4.4% state income tax. Not painful, but not zero.
Property taxes are lower than Texas, averaging 0.5-0.6%, so if you're buying, Denver is more predictable long-term than Austin.
Digital infrastructure.
Excellent fiber availability, CenturyLink and Xfinity compete, keeping gigabit internet around $75 per month.
Co-working density, 11 spaces per 100K, one of the highest in the country.
Power stability is strong, though winter storms can occasionally cause issues in suburban areas.
Physical infrastructure and mobility. This is where Denver shines. RTD Light Rail connects 53 stations across Metro Denver. You can actually live without a car in certain neighborhoods, rare for a western city.
Daily mobility efficiency is high if you're strategic about location.
Airport access.
Denver International Airport is a united hub with 215-plus destinations. You can reach both coasts in under 4 hours and international markets in one connection.
If you travel frequently for work or family, DIA is a massive advantage. Lifestyle and quality of life. Crime rate is 8% below the national average. Healthcare access ranks top 10 nationally. Kaiser and UC Health anchor a competitive market. Walkability varies wildly. Downtown and core neighborhoods score 85-90 out of 100.
Suburbs drop to 40-50. Dating scene is solid, diverse, active, balanced gender ratios.
Not Austin-level chaos, but healthy. The hidden truth. Denver's altitude affects people more than they expect. Hydration, sleep quality, alcohol tolerance, it's real. Some people love it.
Others struggle for months. Also, winter inversion. When pollution gets trapped by mountains, air quality drops significantly for weeks at a time.
Pro tip,
if you move to Denver, buy a quality humidifier and drink twice as much water as you think you need.
Your body will thank you. Who Denver is for.
Solo workers and couples who value quality of life, outdoor access, and a balance between urban amenities and nature.
High-income remote workers who travel frequently. Who should skip it? Families on a tight budget. People who hate cold or altitude. Anyone who needs a major tech scene for networking. Unique angle. Denver is the rare city where lifestyle actually matches cost.
You're paying for mountains, clean air, and work-life balance, and you actually get it.
City 3, Raleigh, Durham, North Carolina. The quiet stability play. Raleigh, Durham doesn't make headlines, and that's exactly why it works. Economic and remote work strength.
According to recent data, the Research Triangle attracts 15,000 plus new remote workers annually, driven by university spillover, Duke, UNC, NC State, and healthcare tech jobs.
Remote work population is around 35%, not the highest, but growing steadily. Tech spillover is moderate but strategic. Biotech, pharma, and research-heavy industries dominate. Cost reality. Median rent for a one-bedroom is around $1,450, significantly lower than Austin or Denver. Rent trajectory is climbing but slow, up about 8% since 2023, manageable compared to other metros. Utilities are affordable.
Groceries are near or below the national average.
The hidden truth. Raleigh-Durham is quietly becoming a family migration magnet. School quality is high. Suburbs are safe.
Cost of living allows for a 3-bedroom house under $400,000.
If you're a remote worker with kids, this is one of the few metros where you can afford space in quality schools. Tax angle.
North Carolina has a flat 4.5% state income tax, not zero, but reasonable. Property taxes average 0.8%, middle of the pack.
Sales tax is 6.75 to 7.5% depending on county. Digital infrastructure. This is where Raleigh-Durham punches above its weight. Google Fiber and AT&T Fiber compete aggressively here. Gigabit internet is widely available under $80 per month. Power stability is excellent. Duke Energy has invested heavily in grid reliability. Co-working spaces, 7 per 100K, not Denver level, but growing fast. Physical infrastructure. RDU Airport is 30 minutes max from anywhere in the triangle. Direct flights to 60-plus domestic cities, with strong connectivity to major business hubs, NYC, DC, Chicago, Atlanta. Daily mobility is car-dependent, but traffic is nowhere near Austin or Denver levels. Lifestyle and quality of life. Crime rate is 18% below the national average.
Healthcare access is exceptional. Duke Health and UNC Health are world-class systems.
Walkability is weak outside of downtown Durham and a few Raleigh pockets. You'll need a car. Dating scene is smaller than Austin or Denver but stable and educated. Lots of grad students and young professionals. The hidden downside. Cultural vibrancy is lower. Nightlife is limited. If you need constant stimulation, you'll feel it. Also, summer humidity is brutal. If you're from the West Coast, it's a shock. Think walk outside and immediately regret wearing jeans. Level of humidity. Who Raleigh-Durham is for? Families and long-term planners.
People who value stability over excitement.
Remote workers who want affordability plus quality infrastructure plus healthcare access. Who should skip it? Solo movers who prioritize nightlife and dating scene. People allergic to suburban vibes. Unique angle. Raleigh-Durham is the anti-hype city. It's not Instagrammable. It's not trendy,
but in 10 years, it might be one of the smartest moves you made.
City 4, Tampa, Florida. The tax-optimized lifestyle bet. Tampa is Florida's middle child, less chaotic than Miami, more affordable, but with growing remote worker appeal. Economic and remote work strength. Remote work population is around 33%. With steady inbound migration.
Migration tracking shows Tampa gained about 35,000 new residents in 2025, many from the Northeast and Midwest looking to ditch state income tax.
Tech spillover is weak. Tampa isn't a tech hub,
but finance, healthcare, and defense contractors have a presence.
Cost reality.
Median rent for a one-bedroom is around $1,650, 30% below Miami, but climbing fast.
Rent is up 15% since 2023. The hidden financial truth.
While rent is lower than Miami, homeowners insurance has roughly doubled in many cases since 2023 due to hurricane risk. If you're buying, factor in $3,000 to $5,000 per year for insurance, sometimes more. Property taxes are around 1%, but insurance eats into your savings big time.
Tax angle. This is Tampa's biggest draw. No state income tax.
If you're making $100,000 plus remotely, you're saving $5,000 to $7,000 per year compared to states like California, New York, or Massachusetts.
Sales tax is 7-7.5%, moderate.
For high earners, Tampa is one of the most tax-efficient cities in America.
You keep more of what you earn, period. Digital infrastructure.
Fiber availability is improving. Frontier Fiber and Spectrum compete in most areas.
Gigabit internet runs $80 to $100 per month. Co-working spaces, 6 per 100K, adequate but not impressive. Power stability is a concern.
Florida's grid struggles during hurricanes, and outages can last days in some areas.
Physical infrastructure and airport access. Tampa International Airport, TPA, is 20 minutes from downtown with direct flights to 95-plus domestic cities. Good connectivity to the East Coast and Latin America. Weaker for West Coast and international business travel. Daily mobility is car-dependent. Traffic is moderate but getting worse as population grows. Lifestyle and quality of life.
Crime rate is slightly above national average, particularly in certain neighborhoods. Walkability is weak. Tampa is a sprawling, car-dependent metro. Healthcare access is solid. Tampa General and Advent Health are strong systems.
Dating scene is active, diverse, and younger than you'd expect. Tampa has a growing population of 25 to 35-year-olds. The hidden risk. Climate exposure is real. Hurricane season is stressful. Insurance costs are rising. Flooding risk is increasing.
If you're making a 10-year bet on Tampa, you're also betting that climate infrastructure keeps pace with risk. And let's be honest, watching the Weather Channel from June to November wondering if you need to bail is not everyone's idea of a relaxing remote work lifestyle.
The unique advantage.
Tampa is one of the few cities where you can still get space, affordability, tax savings, and decent weather in one package. A 2-bedroom apartment with a home office setup is achievable under $2,000 per month, rare in 2026.
Who Tampa is for? Tax-optimized high earners, warm weather fans,
people who value space and don't mind car dependency, anyone trying to stretch their dollars further.
Who should skip it? Risk-averse individuals, people who hate humidity and hurricanes,
anyone who needs walkability or public transit.
Unique angle. Tampa is a financial arbitrage play.
You're trading long-term climate risk for short-term tax savings and affordability.
Make sure that trade-off aligns with your timeline. This is a calculated bet. City 5, Salt Lake City, Utah. The reliability machine. Salt Lake City doesn't get enough credit. It's not trendy, it's not sexy,
but it works, and in 2026, that matters more than hype.
Economic and remote work strength. Remote work population is around 36%.
According to recent data, inbound migration is steady, about 20,000 new residents in 2025, with a significant portion being remote workers and young families.
Tech spillover is growing. Adobe, Qualtrics, and dozens of SaaS companies have a presence here. It's not Austin, but there's optionality if you ever want to pivot hybrid. Cost reality.
Median rent for a 1-bedroom is around $1,550, affordable compared to Denver or Austin. Rent growth has been moderate, up about 7% since 2023. Utilities are slightly above average due to heating costs in winter and cooling in summer.
Tax angle.
Utah has a flat 4.65% state income tax, not zero, but reasonable. Property taxes are low, averaging 0.6%. Sales tax is 6.85 to 8.35% depending on the county, on the higher end.
Digital infrastructure. This is where Salt Lake dominates. Google Fiber, Xfinity, and CenturyLink compete.
Gigabit internet is widely available for $70 to $80 per month.
Power stability is exceptional.
According to recent data, Salt Lake ranks number 3 nationally for grid reliability,
99.97% uptime.
If you're doing deadline-driven remote work, client calls, live production, trading, etc., this matters big time.
Co-working spaces, 8 per 100K, solid coverage.
Physical infrastructure and airport access. Salt Lake City International Airport, SLC, is a Delta hub with direct flights to 95-plus cities.
Strong connectivity to both coasts and decent international access. Traffic is light compared to other metros. Daily commute times average 20 minutes, among the lowest in the U.S. Public transit, Trax Light Rail, is functional but limited compared to Denver. Lifestyle and quality of life.
Crime rate is 22% below the national average, one of the safest metros in the country.
Walkability varies. Downtown scores 88 out of 100. Suburbs drop to 40 to 45. Healthcare access is strong. Intermountain Healthcare and University of Utah Health are excellent systems. The cultural fit question. Salt Lake is about 60% LDS, Mormon, and that influences the social fabric. Liquor laws are quirky. Nightlife is limited.
The dating scene is smaller and more conservative than Austin, Denver, or Tampa. However, the younger professional population is growing and diversifying, especially in tech corridors.
If you're family-focused, outdoorsy, and value safety and stability over nightlife, Salt Lake fits like a glove.
If you're a solo mover who thrives on social density and cultural variety,
you might feel isolated. The hidden advantage. Salt Lake has some of the best urban planning in the U.S. The grid system is logical. Traffic is manageable. Power is reliable. Internet is fast.
It's a low-friction city. You spend less time dealing with infrastructure headaches and more time actually working.
Who Salt Lake is for? Focused professionals, families, people who value efficiency, safety, and outdoor access. Remote workers who hate chaos and want a predictable, stable environment. Who should skip it? Solo movers who prioritize nightlife and dating. Anyone who needs cultural density and diversity.
People who can't function without a robust bar scene.
Unique angle. Salt Lake is the quiet overachiever. It doesn't compete on hype, it competes on execution. And in 2026, execution wins every time. City 6, Phoenix, Arizona. The space for Dollar King with a climate bet. Phoenix offers something almost no other major metro can in 2026, space. Like, actual square footage.
Not a shoebox with a Murphy bed.
Economic and remote work strength. Remote work population is around 32%.
According to recent data, Phoenix gained 65,000 plus new residents in 2025, one of the highest growth rates in the country.
A significant portion are remote workers and retirees looking to escape high-cost metros.
Tech spillover is moderate. Intel, Honeywell, and a handful of startups have a presence, but Phoenix isn't a tech hub.
Cost reality. Median rent for a one-bedroom is around $1,500, lower than most Sunbelt metros.
But here's the real value: home size per dollar. You can still find 2,000 plus SQ foot homes under $400,000 in decent suburbs.
That's nearly impossible in Austin, Denver, or Tampa.
The hidden cost.
Summer electric bills.
Running AC from May to October can push your monthly bill to $300 to $400. If you're budgeting based on rent alone, you'll get walloped. And yes, your car's steering wheel will be too hot to touch from June to September.
This is not an exaggeration. Bring oven mitts. Tax angle.
Arizona has a 2.5% flat state income tax, one of the lowest in the country. Property taxes are low, averaging 0.6 to 0.7%.
Sales tax is 5.6 to 8.6% depending on the city. For remote workers, Phoenix is tax-friendly without being Florida-level exposed. Digital infrastructure. Fiber availability is good in Metro Phoenix. Cox and CenturyLink compete. Gigabit internet runs $80 to $100 per month.
Power stability is solid most of the year, but summer strain can cause brownouts in older neighborhoods.
Co-working spaces, 5 per 100K, lower than other metros, but growing.
Physical infrastructure and airport access. Phoenix Sky Harbor, PHX, is 15 minutes from downtown with direct flights to 100-plus cities.
Strong domestic connectivity. American Airlines hub with excellent reach to both coasts. International access is weaker than Denver or Salt Lake. Daily mobility is car-dependent. Public transit exists, Valley Metro, but it's bare bones. Traffic is moderate and getting worse as population grows. Lifestyle and quality of life. Crime rate is near national average. Some areas are very safe, others less so. Walkability is weak. Phoenix is sprawl-heavy. Healthcare access is solid. Mayo Clinic and Banner Health are strong systems. The hidden risk. Heat is no joke. Phoenix hits 110-degree F plus 4 weeks in summer. Some people adapt, others never do.
If you have kids, elderly parents, or pets, outdoor activity from June to September is basically off the table.
Long-term, water scarcity is a real concern. Phoenix is investing in infrastructure, but it's a 20-year bet. Dating scene. Active and diverse, but heavily car-dependent. You'll drive 20 to 30 minutes for most dates. Who Phoenix is for? Budget-focused remote workers who want space and sunshine. Home office-first workers who don't need walkability.
People who tolerate heat well and value low taxes.
Anyone who wants a backyard and doesn't want to go broke getting it. Who should skip it? Anyone who hates extreme heat. Families with young kids who need outdoor access year-round. Risk-averse individuals concerned about long-term water and climate issues. Unique angle. Phoenix is a short to medium-term value play.
You're getting space and affordability now, but long-term sustainability is a question mark.
If your plan is 3 to 5 years, Phoenix is a solid move.
If you're thinking 15 to 20 years, consider the climate trajectory carefully.
This is a calculated gamble. City 7, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The underrated stability king. Pittsburgh is one of the most underrated remote work cities in America. It doesn't trend on Twitter. It doesn't have a flashy tech scene,
but it works, and for a specific type of remote worker, it's nearly perfect.
This is the sleeper pick nobody's talking about. Economic and remote work strength. Remote work population is around 30%. Migration tracking shows inbound migration is modest, about 8,000 new residents in 2025. Pittsburgh isn't growing explosively, and that's actually an advantage. No hype equals no cost spiral. Tech spillover is limited but present. Google, Duolingo, and Carnegie Mellon create some optionality. Cost reality. Median rent for a one-bedroom is around $1,200, lowest among all cities on this list.
You can rent a 2-bedroom apartment with a dedicated home office for under $1,600 per month in safe neighborhoods. Utilities are near or below national average.
Groceries are affordable.
For remote workers making $60,000 to $80,000, Pittsburgh is one of the few cities where you can actually stack cash.
Tax angle. Pennsylvania taxes remote income at 3.07%, not zero, but manageable.
Property taxes are higher than you'd expect, averaging 1.5-2%, but home prices are so low it evens out.
Sales tax is 6%, among the lowest in the country. Digital infrastructure.
Fiber availability is good in the city. Verizon, Fios, and Comcast compete.
Gigabit internet runs $70 to $90 per month. Power stability is solid. Outages are rare. Co-working spaces, 6 per 100K, adequate but not impressive.
Physical infrastructure and airport access. Pittsburgh International Airport, PIT, is 30 minutes from downtown with direct flights to 60-plus cities. It's not a major hub, so you'll often connect through Charlotte, Philly, or Chicago for long-haul travel.
Daily mobility is car-dependent, but traffic is light. Average commute time is 25 minutes. Public transit, Port Authority buses and light rail, is functional but limited. Lifestyle and quality of life. Crime rate is near national average. Some neighborhoods are very safe, Squirrel Hill, Shadyside, others less so. Walkability is surprisingly good in core neighborhoods. Many areas score 75-85 out of 100. Healthcare access is world-class. UPMC and Allegheny Health are top-tier systems. The cultural fit.
Pittsburgh's dating scene is smaller and more insular than Austin or Denver.
Great for long-term relationship seekers. Tougher for casual dating. Social scene is blue-collar meets tech nerd, unique mix.
Diversity is moderate and improving, but still lags behind Sun Belt metros.
The hidden truth.
Pittsburgh has reinvented itself over the past 15 years.
It's no longer the steel town of the 1980s. It's now a healthcare, robotics, and AI research hub. But it's slow growth, not explosive.
You're not betting on hype, you're betting on steady improvement.
Weather. Winters are cold and gray. Summers are humid. If you need 300 days of sunshine, Pittsburgh ain't it.
But if you're okay with 4 real seasons and don't mind overcast days, it's totally manageable.
Who Pittsburgh is for? Budget-conscious remote workers. Families who want space and good schools without breaking the bank.
People who value low stress, low cost, and high healthcare quality.
Anyone tired of the hustle and flex culture of Sun Belt cities? Who should skip it? Solo movers who need a vibrant dating scene. Anyone who requires constant sunshine and nightlife.
People who can't deal with cold, gray winters.
Unique angle.
Pittsburgh is the anti-trend play. It's the city you choose when you're tired of paying for hype and want your dollar to go further.
It's not glamorous.
But in 10 years, when your Austin and Denver friends are complaining about cost, you'll be sitting in a paid-off house with money in the bank, laughing all the way to early retirement.
Before you make a decision, let's talk about what disqualifies a city.
Because sometimes, what a city doesn't have matters more than what it does.
Weather extremes. Phoenix hits 110-degree F plus 4 weeks. Can you handle that long term? Salt Lake winters are cold and snowy. Are you cool with that? Tampa has hurricanes.
Pittsburgh has gray winters that'll test your vitamin D levels.
Weather isn't trivial, it affects your daily quality of life. Dating scene and social fit.
If you're moving solo, the dating scene matters.
Period. Austin and Denver are active and diverse. Salt Lake and Pittsburgh are smaller and more conservative. Tampa is surprisingly solid for younger professionals. Don't underestimate the importance of rebuilding your social life. Work from home can get lonely fast. Diversity and cultural fit. Some cities are culturally homogeneous.
If you've lived in major metros and value diversity, you'll feel it in smaller, slower growth cities.
Be honest with yourself about what you need socially. Will it get expensive? Austin and Denver are already pricing out mid-income remote workers. Tampa and Phoenix are trending upward fast.
Raleigh, Durham, Salt Lake, and Pittsburgh are slower but climbing.
Think 5 to 10 years ahead, not just today. What's affordable now might not be in 5 years. Infrastructure stress. Rapid growth without planning equals traffic jams, power issues, water concerns. Austin's infrastructure is getting hammered.
Phoenix has water risk.
Tampa has climate exposure. Is the city investing in infrastructure, or just reacting to growth? Migration stability. Will people keep moving here, or was 2020 to 2025 a bubble?
According to recent data, Austin and Denver have slowed.
Tampa and Phoenix are still growing. Migration trends matter for long-term property values and economic health. So here's the real question. Which city would you actually move to in 2026, and why? Not where's trending, not where's cheapest,
but where fits your income level, family needs, career ambitions, and risk tolerance.
Because in 2026, remote work isn't about escaping anymore. It's about building stability in the right place. Austin if you're high income and want career optionality. Denver if you want lifestyle income balance.
Raleigh, Durham if you're a family planner playing the long game. Tampa if you're tax optimizing and willing to roll the dice on climate.
Salt Lake if you want reliability and low drama. Phoenix if you want space now and accept climate risk. Pittsburgh if you want low cost, low stress, and don't need the hype. There's no universal best city. But there is a best city for you. So here's what I want you to do. Pause this video right now. Grab a pen and paper, yeah, old school. Write down your answers to these questions. What's your income? Do you have kids? Do you need a vibrant dating scene? Or are you good flying solo? What's your 5-year plan? Are you building a career, a family, or both? How important is weather to your daily happiness? Now go back and match your answers to the city profiles we just covered. The city that aligns with your answers, not the one with the most buzz, is your answer. So which one is it? And more importantly, are you ready to make the move, or are you still just window shopping? Because the difference between those two is everything. Drop your answer in the comments. Tell me which city you're eyeing and why. I'll reply to the top ones and we can hash it out. Let's build your next chapter in the right place. Not where everyone else is going, where you should go.